Hello there, wrestling fans. Welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast presents CCW Week, fans. CCW is it's an old women's promotion from Delaware. And they're so awesome. They're good people. The wrestlers are so awesome. And today, I'm introducing a young lady that I've been trying to get on the podcast for at least 2 years. Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to Clara. Welcome, Clara. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
So, my first question for you is who trained you?
I was originally trained by Dr. Tom Pritchard, and now I train with the Beer City Bruiser.
Oh, wow. So, with like a person like Tom Pritchard and the Beer City used to Beer City Bruiser, you said?
Yes.
What kind of stuff did you take from both of those men and put into like your wrestling style?
So obviously, Dr. Tom is very old school, and then I was very lucky to stumble upon the Beer City Bruiser. He was trained by Harley Race, so he trains us the way that Harley trained him, which is also obviously very old school. So going from Dr. Tom to Bruiser was actually a very easy transition because it's like the same thing. And it's honestly, I feel like it's what makes me stand out as a women's wrestler because it's very like gritty, it's very mat-based wrestling. So it makes me stand out because I'm not flashy. I don't do flips. I don't do stuff like that. I do very basic old school stuff.
So like, do you have you ever thought of like traveling abroad to like different countries and stuff like that?
I would I'm talking with a few promotions in England to try to get over there, and it's always been a dream of mine to go to Japan. So if any overseas promotions want to hit me up, I am open. I have a passport ready to go.
Awesome. That's the most important thing, that lots of wrestlers don't take that opportunity to travel abroad. You're taking the bull by the horns and you're just running with it down that field. So like, is there any wrestlers that you've been like scouting like overseas that like most people wouldn't be doing?
Um, well, I'm always studying stuff. Anybody in Japan, it's like I said, it's always been a dream of mine to go to Japan. But recently, I was able to wrestle two girls that came from England, and just wrestling them was interesting because it's a different style of wrestling over there. So it was a big learning experience for me, and it was super fun. Um, but yeah, I think I am ready to go over there and see what it's all about.
It's awesome. So what
hmm
kind of wrestling style would you consider yourself for my fans in the UK that have never watched any of your matches?
Um, I would say very old school. I'll work a hold. I like to say I don't wrestle, I fight. That's just how I am. I'm trying to win a match.
Hmm. So, out of like anybody that's from the old school, male or
hmm
female, who would you have on your your list that you would bring back for one more match?
Oh gosh. Old school for one more match.
Living or dead?
How
Forbidden Door
living
style
or
right
dead?
now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say Eddie Guerrero just cuz he was one
Ooh.
of my idols growing up.
Would you let him do that joke chair spot on you, or you would just try to like no, you
Oh,
wouldn't do it?
brother, that's my favorite spot.
I do that at work in the resident home with the coworker. I go, oh, and they're like, huh?
I really do. Any chance I can, I do it.
Yeah, I can see Eddie doing that to you, and you're just like, thank you.
Like I knew it. I knew it.
I knew I was about to get the L, but couldn't feel it. Is there any like old school manager that you would want them to come out to the ring with you?
Jimmy Hart was just recently at AML, where AML is my home promotion, and Jimmy Hart was at I think the not this past show, but the one before that. And it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life, to see Jimmy Hart in person and be able to be in a ring. It was just beautiful. So Jimmy Hart.
And that voice too, that squeaky Jimmy Hart voice. Did it get
Oh
to you? Did
yeah.
you feel that old school vibe?
Oh, I really did. I brought a tear to my eye.
Did you try to beg him to have him come out to the ring with you? Like, please, Jimmy, come on.
I tried so hard. I sat and begged. I almost
he,
slipped him some money.
he didn't do it. He didn't jump. What is it like?
No, he didn't. He had to go. He had to hop in a car right after.
Mm.
Yeah.
So do you when? Do you have any stories from the road? Do you want to talk about tonight?
Oh gosh. What kind of stories?
Like
Good, bad,
traveling, when
awkward.
you're traveling and stuff
Hmm.
like that.
Well, I'm blessed enough that my husband is also a wrestler, so we travel. We do most of our traveling together. Um, he is a big man, obviously, so he takes up a lot of space. And a lot of times, I'm the only girl traveling. And cars, there's the driver, the passenger, and then the three rows in the back.
Mm.
So there's two big men in the front, two big men in the back, and then little me in the middle. So you can only imagine what the air is like in the
Oh
car.
God, it's gaseous. So like it's like this
Yes.
Indiana Jones with the guy's face melting off.
It's disgusting. I'm like this the whole time.
Jeez.
It's
No
horrible.
eggs for that car ride.
Uh-uh. And then Waffle House is almost always the only thing open at the end of the day after a wrestling show. So then everybody eats eggs, everybody gets their carbs from the waffles, and then everybody's just blowing up the car on the way home.
Oh jeez. So for you,
Hmm.
Clara, what is it like the week of a wrestling show? What is like your normal schedule
Hmm.
like?
So I always train on Mondays and Wednesdays because that's when Bruiser does the training at our training facility. Every once in a blue moon, I'll wrestle on a Tuesday or a Thursday, but for the most part, it's a normal week, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday are show days.
Mm. All
So
right.
that Thursday is when the big, like, pack your gear bag, pack your snacks, pack your water, all that stuff.
So like what is your go-to snack after a match?
It depends on what time of year it is. If it's the summertime, I'll go for a fruit or something refreshing because for some reason during the summertime everybody wants to run shows outside when it's like a million degrees and I'm dehydrated, so I need to replenish myself. And then when it's cold out, I'll go for like there's these, I don't know what they're called, but they're like these little like cookie things that have chocolate in the inside. There's a panda on the packaging. I forgot what it was called though, but I get them at Sheets all the time.
Another Sheets customer. Oh my gosh.
Hmm.
Sheets, you're gonna have to start sponsoring episodes because every customer lately I've been having guests, they've been saying Sheets. A few Wawas, not all Sheets. Some of them
Hmm.
Wawas. I live in a town that
Hmm.
has a Turkey Hill, so I'm kind of like
Oh.
Wawa's
Hmm.
better than Turkey Hill. Sorry, Turkey Hill.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna get a dislike from Turkey Hill fans on the podcast. So with this week being the awesome show, the CCW show, like how are
Hmm.
you preparing for your opponent?
The same way I always do, honestly. I always watch tape. I watch it with my husband and then I watch it with my trainer. If it's somebody that really like stumps me or triggers my curiosity, I'll message Dr. Tom and be like, what do you think the game plan should be? So it really just depends on who the person that is unfortunate enough to be in the ring with me is.
Hmm. So with this being in the month of October, what is
Hmm.
your all-time favorite, like top 5 Halloween movies?
Oh my God. Number one, obviously, Hocus Pocus, of
Hmm.
course.
How did you feel about
Um,
Hocus Pocus 2?
I thought it was cute. I didn't really care much for I don't like it enough to rewatch it every Halloween, but for the one time I watched it, I thought it was cute.
Hmm. Okay, we,
Mhm.
we we only got one. What are the others? I'm excited to hear.
Um, The second one, any Jason movie, any movie with Jason in it.
Mm,
I'm a big
okay.
Jason girl. The Saw movies because they're making a new one, and I just got like flashbacks from my childhood. What was that? Three.
That was three.
I
I
just,
think it was
I just recently watched Haunted Mansion for the first time. I never watched it,
really. You
and
never seen
yeah,
Haunted
I
Mansion?
never watched it. Um,
Hmm.
and then the fifth one would be The Conjuring, just because I love that movie.
Funny, scary story. Have you ever seen the movie 13 Ghosts?
No.
Oh my gosh, Clara. Whatever time, if you're not doing anything after the interview, you need to go on
Mhm.
Netflix or Hulu and look up 13 Ghosts. That movie is so good. Creepy. It has cool music to it. Some really good actresses. Kind of people like not
Mhm.
like under the wire kind of actors that you're like, oh, I've seen that guy in,
Mhm.
but it's really good. A lot of the ghosts are all really creepy, and they have. If you got the DVD, you get the backstory.
Mhm.
I don't know if they do that for the Netflix or
Uh
Hulu,
huh.
but they get the
Mhm.
backstory of everybody. So now you're gonna want to go to a consignment shop to see if they have 13 Ghosts on DVD,
Right.
because
Yeah.
it's good to see it on Netflix or Hulu. But if you get it on
Mhm.
DVD, you get the special edition. You get
Mhm.
that cool like how they died and everything.
Oh. Mhm.
But it's good to watch the movie, and then you're gonna have to buy the DVD.
Right.
Like
Right.
I think that was four. What's lucky number five?
Did I say The Conjuring?
Oh yeah, it's a country. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Sorry, I forgot. I'm like, oh
No,
god,
you're fine. You're fine. I forgot to.
I'm so excited that I got you. So here we go. Another October funny question. Do you like candy corn?
I like candy corn only for like two or three pieces. Once I get to like piece number four and five, then I just feel disgusted.
Mm, yeah, candy corn is. You know what's funny? In PA, there's actually a place that sells it all year round, and they have different flavors.
What?
Yes, look it up.
Ew. I don't know
Apple,
how I
they
feel
got
about that.
banana, they got
Oh,
strawberry, banana, they got, and they're all different colors. You know, the candy corn's like orange and yellow. They have like
yeah.
green and white ones. They got yellow and red
Oh,
ones. It's like, girl,
yuck.
no. Like, why are you
Right.
doing this? Like, do you, Clara, do you collect anything?
My husband and I collect Funko Pops, actually. Only
Ooh,
pro
how many,
wrestling
how many,
Funko Pops.
how many is in your collection?
Well over 100.
Wow.
We
I
have a
only have
whole
three.
wall and a bookshelf, and then we have another wall over here. We got to get more shelves for it.
Hmm. I'm just looking
Mhm.
at three. I got Rey Mysterio, Zack Ryder, Million Dollar
Mhm.
Man, DiBiase with the belt on the shoulder, and Paul
Mhm.
Heyman.
Oh God.
I had to say it with the name because that was the
Right.
pack that the Paul Heyman came in.
Mhm.
Was I think it was with Cactus Jack or the ones that they in the same pack they came. They didn't come
Yeah.
together, but it was like the same timeline that they came out. So I think it was like
Mhm.
Paul Heyman, Cactus Jack with the garbage can lid I think he had in his hand, and
Mhm.
Stone Cold. Yeah, and I got the
Wow.
DiBiase as a Christmas birthday present, so I also got
Uh-huh.
the Rey Mysterio. Amazon exclusive,
Mm.
I might add. Amazon
Oh.
exclusive. Yes, I'll show
Wow.
you. It's really cool looking. Yeah, that one yet?
Oh yeah, we do have that one. That one, I love the blue on that one. It's so
My
pretty.
sister asked me, "Do you want any more Rays?" I'm like, I don't know where I'm gonna put them. My desk is not big enough for a bunch of pops. I actually got a Spider-Man one that looks like my grandfather that wrestled.
Oh. Oh, that's cute.
Yes, it's a bobblehead.
Yeah, it looks like a lucha libre. It doesn't even look like a.
Yeah, it's a Spider-Man. It was a Spider-Man special edition they had out for a
Yeah.
while, and
Mhm.
it's supposed to be like Spider-Man if he was a luchador.
That's cute.
You have to look it up. They have Spider-Man. I think they had Venom, and
Mhm.
they had Venom. And I think they even had Carnage as the three different characters. But it was cool. I was like,
Yeah.
so when you go to if you ever if you're like in your area, if there's ever like a wrestling show and you're
Mhm.
available, do you ever just go to the shows and sit in the back and just observe? Like back row
Um,
then.
honestly, it's very rare that I have an open day to just go sit at a wrestling show, but if I do, it depends on the show, honestly. If I have friends on the show, I will. But if there's nobody like that, nobody that catches my eye on the show, then no.
Mm, okay. Um, if any of my fans would like to buy any of Clara's merch, where can they find it?
hmm You are gonna have to come to a show that I'm booked on and come meet me in person and buy it. I'm
Okay.
exclusive.
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
hmm
So, my last question for you. If there was any
hmm
young, like 19 or 18-year-old, male or female, that wanted to get into the wrestling business and they just
hmm
didn't know where to go and didn't know what to turn, what kind of advice would you give them?
I would say do your research because there's a lot of pro wrestling schools that have coaches who don't know what they're doing, who don't know a single thing about wrestling. So do your research and make sure you're being trained by somebody who has been where you want to be. Um, and get out of your comfort zone and give everything you have into training. I grew up doing jujitsu, and my jujitsu coach told me one time that it doesn't matter how big, how strong, how athletic you are, nothing beats mat time. So I took that with me in wrestling because I'm like one of the smallest people in the training center most of the time. And it doesn't matter if somebody's 100 pounds heavier than me or so much more athletic than me, they're not going to beat me because I'm in a ring every single day. So if it's really what you want to do, give it all you have and go get trained by somebody who knows the craft.
Awesome. I want to thank you so much, Clara, for finally getting together and doing the podcast. It means a lot to me that I finally got people that I haven't got a chance. Please tell your wrestling friends about the podcast. Please tell your husband about the podcast. I would
Yeah.
love to have him
Oh,
join you
yeah.
if he could have. Well, maybe
Of
we could do a
course.
part two next year. May have you and your
We
husband
could.
come together, do the episode.
Yeah.
We'll work on a date later on, later in the
hmm
year. I'm Joe
hmm
Panther the third,
And I'm the Queen City Killer, Clara.
and we will catch you in the next one. Good night, everybody.